Ho, 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 ho. Welcome back, everyone.
Dirty ho.
To Bad Film Good. Welcome back, hoes, to Bad Film
joking,
Good.
baby, I love you.
The podcast where we look at poorly rated movies and we ask the question, is this bad film good? My name is Declan.
And I'm Maiden.
I thought you were going. And I'm... Today, we are looking at Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, Arnie's our guest.
We have Arnie with us today. Thank you for joining us, Arnie. You are very welcome. I bought some cookies for you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's very nice of you, Arnold. Thank you. You've just put those down on the side there. Put the cookie down.
Do you
Sorry,
mind if I smoke a stogie?
If you don't mind, I'm gonna smoke a stogie because I'm a stud.
So I smoke my stogies wherever I want, unlike you.
Right. Well,
Are we done
Arnie
with that
aside,
now? Is it?
Yeah. He's got his stogies. He's got his cookies. He's happy. All right. He's a happy little.
Just stroke him under his chin.
Yeah. Just tickle his chin as he's eating his. But before we get into jingling all the way home, Aiden, please tell us for the last festive episode of the. It's the last one, isn't it? Is it the last one?
This is right.
Last Christmassy one, I guess.
Yeah. Last Christmassy one. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good Christmas. This is But we're recording.
We're not.
We're recording this before Christmas.
Shh.
But after,
don't tell them.
But for
it's
you,
been Christmas is long gone. I mean,
God, I can't.
We're to the same point as you are.
Yeah, can you believe that thing that happened at Christmas? Jesus.
Yeah, that big thing that was crazy.
Yeah, that was mad.
Get on with the show. Sorry, Arnold.
Sorry, it's getting restless.
Tell me, Aiden, what's striking this week?
So, I had previously saved this article. It's from Polygon. Without realizing that what this article actually is it's an article that links other articles. So, but they've done it quite well, so I wanted to talk about the article in general.
Right.
So it's from Polygon, and basically they like compiled all their Shrek articles together on one web page in celebration for Shrek's 20th anniversary. The first thing you see is Shrek's face made out of different pictures of Shrek. So it's like one of those collages.
Shrekception.
Yeah. It's like one of those collages.
I know what you mean,
and then you scroll down, and that takes up the full page, and then you scroll down a little bit. The whole article is in Shrek green. The first thing you see is...
I thought you were going to say in some, like, Shrek language. Like, it's all just... It's like hieroglyphs, but they're just different pictures of Shrek and, like, an outhouse door and donkey's face and like
dragon
boots. Yeah.
No, not quite, but it does say the first thing you see is you scroll down from Shrek's face made out of smaller Shrek's faces, and then it just goes Shrek. That's the title of the article. Just Shrek.
Just in case you were unsure at any point.
And then so below that there's and I thought this was quite good, because what I might do in the new year is we'll go through each of these articles one by one, because there's a whole compilation of Polygon articles, and I'll list them all off. I think we've done one already, but you either die Shrek or live long enough to see yourself become Lord Farquaad. Brilliant. Shrek and Pepe the Frog are similar kinds of meme stars. What happened to Shrek's laser eyes? Princess Fiona was like no princess before her and no princess since. This is the one that we've definitely done before. Shrek didn't chicken out on its donkey dragon sex. Classic. Yes. What playing a gingerbread man drowned in milk was like. The two most cursed official Shrek videos on YouTube were released on the same day. Justice for Justin Timberlake. Hello to the red carpet photos. We don't need to look at that. How old is Shrek? The only Shrek the Musical had the answer. And finally, oh right, these things actually happen in the Shrek movies. Anyway, this article actually is just like, Shrek's 20. Here's some articles. Can you believe it? Shrek's 20. But then if you scroll down...
I thought it was like, how old is Shrek in the movies? And then Shrek's 20.
He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. But if you scroll down, the last sentence... Well, no, it's not the last sentence, sorry. It says, so settle back in your mud jacuzzi and light some earwax candles because we're about to get Shreked, which I thought was fun. And then it says, why Assassin's Creed Unity can't rebuild Notre Dame after the disastrous 2019 fire at Notre Dame.
I didn't know Shrek was in the new Assassin's Creed game is set in Shrek's universe.
No, Shrek burnt down Notre Dame. So yeah, that's my non-article for this week. I apologize because I didn't read it. I just read the title and I was like, sweet, that'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do.
Wow.
That would do, donkey. Now put the cookie down. You're going to hear that quote a lot because I didn't realise that was actually from this film that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
And I was very, very happy when it came up. So... But
yeah, so that's what's Shrek this week. And this week, as you may have heard, we're doing Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yes. Jingle All the Way, which we saw on, I believe, Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah, but we had to bloody pay for it.
Free. We had to fucking pay for it.
Yeah, usually Amazon Prime's free, but we had to bloody pay for it this time.
Where's our free content?
Yeah, give us free, 100% free content, Amazon, you bastards.
But not only was it on Amazon Prime, but also... the 4K Ultra HD version was on Amazon Prime. So there are, again, two versions of this film. And you know what happens when we have two versions of this film.
Yes, we get both people.
We get both of the two Amazon blurb writers, summary writers, clashing on one project. We get the employee of the month, doing his due diligence.
Yep.
And then we have the guy who had to...
We get Brian from
post
accounting.
It in then we get Brian from accounting who had to do 4K Ultra HD and give a fuck. So we watched it on Amazon Prime, which described it as being... Howard is a well-meaning executive who doesn't seem able to find time for his family. But when his son asks for Turbo Man, he has 24 hours in which to claim the last one. Thank you very much, due diligence man, the real hero.
Yeah,
doing
the real Turbo Man.
Yeah, doing good work. the real Turbo Man, doing Turbo Man's work out here. And then you get the 4K Ultra HD version, which is the version I bought. You got to watch it in.
Oh, really? Was it the same price?
I was torn because I was like, yeah, it was the same price. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was torn because I was like, but do I watch it original quality or 4K Ultra HD? Does it take away from the experience? I can tell you, I did not notice anything. I had no idea it was even really 4K. It is a 4K TV. I could display it in 4K. I don't know if I'd missed an option, but I mean, it says it was the 4K Ultra HD version. Well, I didn't see any difference. Maybe the other one was like 140p, and I just didn't know.
Yeah, I barely saw anything.
But the other version, which is the version that I watched it on, described it as being this. After promising his young son that Santa will get him a toy on his wish list, a father's Christmas Eve turns into a hilariously nightmarish scramble to find the much...
Brian's at it again.
Fucking Brian, man.
Fucking
I forgot
Brian
that. Like, I almost read past that and I had to stop because it literally says into a hilariously nightmarish and then scramble to find the much. And that's it. That's all we get. Nuts.
Oh, what a man!
Absolutely nuts.
Never
what a
changed.
man! What a man! What a mighty good man.
Thanks, James. I'm here too.
Oh God.
Hey! No!
Yeah. Put the Corgan down. Corgan? Corden. Put the accordion down.
Put the accordion down. That was an accordion. Thank you. Nice. Thank you and good night.
Yeah. All right, that's all we have time for this week. But throw us some facts our way, Aiden. Put some facts on a cookie.
Well, if you have it...
Put that cookie down next to me. That took you a while.
So, you know how usually the segment will go, I'll describe vaguely what the film's plot is.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you some facts. Usually how I do that is I'll make my notes as I go, and then I'll also write the plot as it's happening so I don't forget.
Right.
But I've clearly forgotten. I clearly forgot that I forgot to make my notes. So all I've written is Arnold Schwarzenegger is a terrible, terrible father.
I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good summary of the film, really.
It's basically it. I'll try to...
just spin us something.
From the top of my head, basically what happens is Arnie's like he's a mattress salesman, and he's a terrible father as well.
Is that actually what he is?
Yeah, he's a mattress salesman. We'll get into that a little bit.
He's a mattress salesman?
Yep. He's a mattress salesman, and that's why he's so busy.
Put your head down on this nice mattress. You are my favorite customer. You're my number one customer. The fucking line is.
Yeah, so he's a mattress salesman, and then his kid's like, are you going to get me Turbo Man? And he's like, oh, fuck. I mean, yes, I've got you, Turbo Man. And then his wife's like, you better have got that Turbo Man, because you're a bad father. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, I've got it. However, it's now Christmas Eve, and Arnie's like, oh, fuck, I lied to literally everyone. I better go get Turbo Man. So
he got some stogies on the way.
Yeah, I get some stogies and get the Turbo Man.
I didn't get you a Turbo Man, but I got you some stogies.
They say turbo on them.
These are turbo stogies. They are much better.
And they're also for me.
Not you.
Because I can smoke them wherever I want, unlike you. This kid's like crying.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, sorry. This is going to be a long episode already.
Yeah.
And it's all Arnie's fault. So he's going around. He meets Sinbad, who's also looking for Turbo Man. And they get in semantics. They commit some crimes. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger decides that, fuck, I haven't got Turbo Man. I'll do the right thing and admit to my son that I'm a bad father, and admit to my wife, who's now cheating on me with the neighbor, that I've been a bad husband and she should leave me. But as he goes to do that, suddenly he turns into a superhero, and then Sinbad turns into a super villain. They have a fight through the streets of New York, killing
millions.
Killing millions in the process. And then
whole continents laid to waste.
Yeah, and then his kid, Sinbad, is about to murder Arnie's kid, but then Arnie stops him, and then
that bit is true.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. And then they all Turbo Man / Arnie saves the day, and then the kid is like, hey, here, evil villain Sinbad, here's the thing that you wanted, which was the Turbo Man, because I got one or something, and now you can have one. And he's like, cheers, I'm still going to jail, though, so this means nothing. and then everyone forgives Arnie for being a terrible father and a liar, and no one mentions it ever again.
Yeah. Cookies all around.
No, not for you. Put the cookie down.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sinbad gets to take one. He's like, put the cookie down.
So it was made in 1996, directed by Brian Levan, starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman. Rest in peace, Phil Hartman. Rita Wilson and Steve Buscemi. Had a budget of 60 million, and it made just over 129 million. So not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It also starred the Anakin Skywalker kid. Was he in this credit?
Yes.
Did you say his name?
I didn't say him.
I was trying to place him for it. I was like, why do I know this kid? And I'm like, oh, he like kills half the universe or whatever Vader does. And hits on women 5 years older than him when he's like 9 years old. Or no, she's is she old? How old is she supposed to be? Like
she's like 30. No, she's like 30.
She's like 30.
Anyway, had 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 34 Metal Crickets like the movie. But yeah, hey.
Put the cookie down.
We just not. I know what's going. Like, I mean, I know the structure by now, obviously, but it's just the pause, and then they're like, "Hey," like I know that it's going to be like, "Hey, look, I got this money. What are you going to do?"
Yeah. It's slowly going to progress to be from me being like, "Oh, I'm a producer and I've got 60," to me just going, pitch it." Just bloody pitch it. Get on
like, I've got fucking 10 cookies.
Yeah. 60 million cookies.
Yeah. All right. So this film pitch that I'm going to make for the low price of, was it 65 million cookies? Well, it goes like this. The world's unluckiest man beats up some Santa Clauses and commits various crimes of terrorism in order to get his kid a shitty plastic toy that will break within a month, all while he gets cucked by his creepy neighbor. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much the film.
Should we skibbity bap ho
let's
ho ho into the
let's skibbity ho ho into it. When we were doing the ho hos on top, I like tried to, while I was doing them in my brain, tried to like turn them into Arnie ho hos, but I had no idea how to do that, and so I ended up just kind of like stretching it out and not really knowing what I was doing. I don't know how you like ho ho.
We could do it now. We could restart the whole podcast if you want to.
Yeah, we're almost 20 minutes in. We could go back.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but we'll leave this bit in, so we just restart and do the whole bit again.
Yeah, we'll say exactly what we said.
Because that's what when you edit it. I mean, you don't really do. You just cut the ends off, and it's like a carrot.
I just
no,
pretend
not a carrot. You do one.
I sink it and then leave it. Yeah. I make it up. I'm like, oh god, I gotta edit this thing, man. It's taking me ages. Sorry it's so late this time. It's just been, there was a lot of editing to do. What I really do is I make sure my mic was turned on, then sync it, and then just leave it. Sometimes I don't even check my mic was on. Just do it for banter.
Yeah.
Spice it up.
Keeps us on the edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this film, the beginning, I forgot, actually, until I looked at my notes just now. The beginning is just madness. It just throws this Turbo Man TV show kind of intro at you. And it's spliced to hell, where it's just like so much shit going on in this like old kind of 80s, 90s show special effects. Like, I mean, my God, it was just everywhere. It was I couldn't keep up with all the fuck was going on.
Because it's like an advert. No, it's like the show Turbo Man. Like
Yeah.
And then it like pulls out, and you see Anakin watching it.
Yeah, and kind of mimicking, it's the whole thing where he does the salute to the camera, and then he does the salute back, and he's like, "I love you, Turbo Man." But like the bad guy in that show, because it's like, okay, this is meant to be like a kids show, but the bad guy takes a kid. And he's just holding him over the cliff edge. And he's like, "I'm going to fucking kill this child, Turbo Man. What are you going to do?" And Turbo Man's like, "Well, it's in the name, buddy. I'm going to fly my turbo jetpack and save the kid." It's very specific. I mean, it's just a guy with a jetpack and
it's
a boomerang.
Just Iron Man.
It's
just shit Iron Man.
It's just shit Iron Man. It's like, it is literally like fucking Tin Man. Not even Aluminium Man, it's like Aluminum Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
He's like a discount of a discount. But yeah, we're introduced to, the family setting. You got the kid watching the TV, and the mum's kind of telling him like, "Come on, turn that shit off. We've got to get ready for your karate recital thing, boy. Go get your karate shit, and let's get ready and go." And he's like, "But my dad isn't here, and he's not gonna be here on time for the thing." And then she's like, "Well, I'm sure that he's on his way, and he's really upset that he can't be here right now, but he'll be here for the thing, and he's on his way." And then it's just like, in his workplace, everyone's like,
yeah. And I thought they were
partying.
going like another way with it when that came up, because I thought he was gonna be like
in the party, right?
Yeah, like partying,
Yeah.
like sleazing up all these women, because it was made in the 90s. So it's like,
he's like, "You want to see my Turbo Man?"
Yeah.
I cheat on my wife and smoke my stogies.
I
and
just
I don't give a
imagine that
fuck.
he's just the most blunt, like, he's walking around like this, like, and he dances up to someone, and he's like, "Hey, I cheat on my wife." And that's his intro to be like, let's find somewhere private.
His smooth line is,
Hey, what the fuck?
just like blowing smoke into their face. Just like,
"I got my stogie. You want to go around the back and fuck?"
yeah. Not even leaving anything to the imagination.
Hey, let's have sex right now. In front of everyone.
And then just
I called my wife. She knows what's up.
Oh man.
But yeah, so he doesn't do that. Instead,
No,
he's
none
a
of that.
workaholic, and like
But he is loving it.
he's loving
Because
it.
he's calling 5,000 million people and telling them that they're all, like, it's all clients, and they've got all got issues and stuff, and he's like, "And remember, you are my number one customer." I don't know, my Arnie impression is going further downhill each time I try it. Just as a fair warning in advance.
But it's like I was like, how is this guy? Because the first one, he's like,
Also, you want 500 by the end of the month? Yeah, that's fine.
I was like, 500 fucking mattresses. Who is buying? And also, all the rest of the people, like you said, they've all got issues. So he's fucked all of their. How is this guy in business? How is he so busy that he's been missing literally everything?
It's all the issues they've got is where, like, he just takes a break and he lies down on one of the mattresses and smokes a stogie, and then he just gets like shit all over the mattress and leaves it. So when they get it in and they're like, "Why is my mattress grey?" and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I get you another one."
They're like,
Don't forget, you're my favorite customer.
they're like, yeah. They're like, why is my mattress every time there's we love buying your mattresses, but every time there's like weird ash and like cigarette burns on the right side of every mattress in the same place.
In the shape of a smiley face.
Yeah. And then it says, I smoke my stogies wherever I want.
He's written the whole thing out with each little stubbed circle. It just says like a whole thing, like, I smoke my stogies wherever I want. I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take shit.
It's like, and it's on every one.
All 500 of them. I mean, I admire the dedication, honestly.
And then, so we see that also. So going back slightly, when when his son's like, "Oh, he fucking misses everything," and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, son. He'll be there this time. He knows how important it is. He's definitely gonna be there." And I was like, if he's missed everything, why is this different? Like,
why would you kind of give your kid the hope?
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. You could kind of, there's like, I suppose you could make an argument that she's not in denial, but you know what I mean. She's kind of telling herself, he'll do it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do it this time. It'll be okay this time.
But then we're introduced to we're at the karate recital, and we see it's first of all I thought it was like the stepdad or something.
Yeah,
but it's not.
I call them glasses, dude.
Yeah. Because he's recording the karate recital, and he's just surrounded by women, and they're all like, "Hey, can you come fix my lights? Wink, wink. Can you come round and..."
Pointing to her crotch.
Yeah, she's like, "Can you come paint my walls? Hey, can you
come and lay some pipe?"
Yeah, do you wanna come round after 10 p.m. and fuck my ass? I mean, help me with my wash.
My note is glasses dude is being mega thirsted by all the mums.
Literally, I was like,
because he's just surrounded by them, but he and that's the thing, because both him and the mum, like actual Arnie's wife, both of them are kind of seemingly off-put by it. Like, both of them are like, "Oh, this is a bit much," and so you almost get the impression that they're in that together. You know, that maybe they are together or something.
That's why I wrote stepdad, because I was like, oh, so he's the deadbeat dad. Like, of course she's divorced him because he keeps missing this shit. And he's burning all his mattresses.
And you've got the like shining, the knight in shining armor stepdad who is great and does everything perfectly because we want to hate him for being better than that kind of trope. Which I suppose that's something that I do really like about this, that it almost feels like it should be that kind of trope, but actually it's
well, where are you going with this? Because
no, I'm saying like it seems like it's that trope because he's recording the recital. He's I'll look after the kids, you know, I'll do this, and he's seemingly like, oh, he's so great, and then you realize actually
he's just the thirsty foot.
He's just trying to fuck. I mean, there's probably, you know, there's more to it. He's like trying to actually just get with Arnie's wife, but like
he's thirsty as hell.
He's just thirsty as hell. And
he even says later on,
and
even later on, he's like, I could have any woman I want.
Yeah, there is literally a line later where he's like, I don't know if he says any woman or if he's like any of the women in this neighborhood, whatever, something along those lines. Yeah. But he's like, any of these women would kill to be in your position or something like that.
And she's
like being being
great.
Trapped in a car with him.
Oh wow! But it's
creep.
So fucking.
Also, I've got a note here saying that this is another Chris Columbus classic. He didn't direct or anything, but he was on the producer credits.
Yeah, why is he? What's he
He's
doing?
just popping off all of the. I mean, this is like, before we were born, but
No,
before I was born anyway.
Born. Thank you very much. I'm 45.
Well, I didn't exist outside of a womb. I probably existed at that point, because I was born early 1997. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's another Chris Columbus classic.
I don't think
he's
you
doing
can
a lot
say
of...
that.
What?
Just because someone mentioned his name, someone wrote down his name on a piece of paper on the script, and they're like, Chris Columbus classic.
I thought you were talking about the womb thing. No, this is, he's a producer. He would have had some hand in things. He wasn't executive producer, which means he probably just put money into it. He was a producer, I think. That's from what I remember. So it's another Chris Columbus classic.
I'm looking it up because I don't believe you.
His name was on there.
Are you sure? Maybe there's like 3 Chris Columbus.
There's like Christopher, Christopherson, and Christian. But
he did not. He did.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What is it? It's another Chris Columbus classic.
I don't think. Right, we gotta set the ground rules here, right? If
it has his name, I literally this is not like a thing. It's just because you're contending it. If it has his name, then it's a Chris Columbus classic. I'm just putting it out there.
So what you're saying is, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Another Chris Columbus classic.
Night at the Museum 2.
Oh, hell yeah. Legit, though. It's Night in the Museum. Bangers.
What? No. Hang on.
What?
I have to check that this is...
Bear with us. We're verifying. We've got a team on the case.
Okay. Pixels, the Adam Sandler classic, is also a Chris Columbus classic.
Is a Chris Columbus classic. It stands. It stands and it works and it's solid. And I stand by it. Anyway, but yeah, so Arnie's trying to get to this recital, and he's just so absorbed with his work, and his PA is showing him signs saying, the recital, you told me to remind you, thank me later, whatever, and he's like, go away, put the sign down, go away. You're my favorite customer. And he says that to his wife as well when she calls, and it's like, dude, are you going to be fucking late to this? Because you're an asshole if you do. And then he's like, no, honey, I've got it. Don't worry. You're my number one customer. And then he goes, no, wait. Just fucking hangs up. And I was like, nice. Good one, dude.
He misses the karate recital. And then
by a long way.
By a fucking long way. I was like, he turns up like it must be at least 4 hours, if not more. And I was like, bro, why are you even bothering? You know you've missed it. How long do you think this thing's going to go on for?
It's like 2 a.m. and he's like, I can still make it. I'm only 1 hour away.
Because he comes in, there's just like a janitor, like, mopping the floor. Everything's been cleared away. I was like, that janitor's going to be like, what the fuck?
And he does, and because he's up until this point, at various points in his journey, he's like, I can make it. And then at that point, he stands there and he looks at it and he goes, I didn't make it. But like, this is the beginning of one of the main points that I thought about this film. That, like, okay, yeah, the guy's a workaholic. Yes, he's in dire need of getting his priorities straight. But he is the worst. He has the worst fucking luck of just anyone. It is insane the amount of things that happen to this man. He walks out of his house and he's like, I got hit by a piano and then I got flung from a trebuchet across to another country and I had to hijack off a seagull. I'm like, what the fuck? All the shit that happens to this guy is crazy. So, like, on this way to the recital, he decides to like I don't know, go into like the like, I don't know whether it's the hard shoulder or whatever the fucking thing is with that road, but like it's like a massive traffic jam. So he just decides, there's a free road here. I'm just going to drive it. And he just drives up, he drives along, and the police, he drives past the police car, and the police are like, no, you can't do that. So I'm going to stop you. And the cop just doesn't like him for whatever reason, like whatever the conversation. I mean, Arnie is his usual kind of blunt self. So then the cop is like, well, I don't like you, get out of the car. And it's like a whole thing. And this cop keeps like bumping into him, even though I'm assuming he like commuted to work from somewhere else. I don't know what this cop is like doing everywhere, but he just keeps bumping into this cop and just like, just scarring him for life and breaking him.
So you say, I feel like this is a point that we disagree on. You're saying like this guy is so unlucky.
Well, I mean,
he's unlucky, but he brings it all onto himself.
Like, he does for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of things where it's like, suddenly he turns around and he knocks into the cop from before, and then his coffee goes all over him and whatever. Yeah. And he's like, uh-oh, I guess I'm fucked. Or like,
the Cookie Monster.
It really went off the rails.
Uh-oh, I guess I'm fucked.
Put the cookie down.
But I guess
we'll go through them. We'll go. Do you know what? We'll go through it all and all the things that happen, and we'll decide his unluckiness
if it's his fault.
in a percentage kind of measurement.
Yeah, the first one that you mentioned, driving up the hard shoulder.
Yeah, like that's
on him.
He does shit which is like, you're an idiot,
illegal.
But then
you're an idiot.
Yeah, and but I've just seen a. oh yeah, we'll get to it. I just realised I wrote something dumb in a little bit. But yeah, so he gets there like 15 hours, 3 days late, and he's like, "Oh, I did not make it," and has to go and kind of apologize to his son. And it's the thing again where like, I feel like if he came back. I don't know how a kid would act. It didn't seem, some of the stuff the kid was doing, again, it felt like a kind of maybe an older, like not necessarily how a kid would act, because like he'd come home and the kid would just kind of be like sad and like just sit, like maybe like wouldn't want to talk to him, but this kid is very like self-aware of like, I feel like a kid of that age would be upset and be like, "Oh, you didn't come and to the recital and stuff and whatever." But this kid is like, "Father, your priorities are in disarray, and this is really hindering my development and not setting very good principles for me, your son, who looks up to you." But at the same time, when he's like running off because he doesn't want to talk to him, because he's like, "I'm sorry, my son," and he just keeps blanking him and walking and doing different things in the house to try and ignore him. And there's one point where he runs up the stairs, but he's got his juice box in his hand, and I was like, "Oh, he's just got his own juice box." But I feel like they were like, "Oh, we've got him run up the stairs. Give him a juice box." Just remind you, he's a little kid. Just give him his juice box.
But he goes like, Arnie goes up the stairs to try and make it up to him, and he's like,
I bet you did lots of karate.
And then he just starts making all these Arnie noises. And I was just like, okay, this is why he's in the film. Because he's like in this kid's room, the kid's like ignoring him.
Sat on his bed reading a comic.
Yeah. Well, Arnie's just going,
"Yeah! Ooh! Yeah!"
And I was like, finally, he's back.
Yeah. Christmas has come early. Yeah, and he's trying to make up to the kid, and the kid is like, you didn't come to the recital, you didn't come to the last one, you didn't come to the last one, blah, 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 you're never here, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And then his dad's like, Arnie's like, what if I bought you something? And then the kid's like, hey, now you're speaking the right language, you see? Now we're beginning to make an understanding between each other. You buy me things.
I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you a big special present. Come on, what do you want? And then he and again, this is something I like, is that the kid just launches into this thing about the Turbo Man. But he's obviously seen the advert for Turbo Man so many times that he recites the whole, like, Turbo Man with detachable arms and legs and blah, 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 and this and that and the other. Accessories sold separately, batteries not included.
Yeah. But I like that.
But the batteries must be included because you can do the try me thing on the guy and he says the words.
Nah, he's self-charged. He
is Turbo Man. He's got an amount of charge for him.
He's got a small arc reactor inside that little suit. Battery's not included because it doesn't need them.
Yeah,
but I like that bit as well because he's like, "Oh,
I get you whatever you want,"
and then fucking what's his name, Anakin. There we
Anakin,
go.
yeah.
Anakin is like, yeah, well, don't worry about that because I already asked for it. And he's like, yeah, but tell me anyway. And then,
because he asked Santa.
Yeah, he asked Santa. And he's like, yeah, I asked him for a turbo thing. And then he's like, cool, I'm gonna get you the Turbo Man. And Anakin's like, yay, great. And I was like, wait, but so you're getting two now? In this kid's mind?
I mean, because he says he asked Santa for it, and then Arnie was like, instead of being like, you dumb shit, Santa's not doing it.
And then he punches him in the face.
Yeah. And he takes out his stogie and leaves. Instead of doing that, he's like, he says, well, Santa's busy beating all the elves and he needs help from mummies and daddies. Yeah. Santa doesn't smoke any stogies. The stogies thing is going to be a real repeat joke in this episode, just to make sure you're aware. You need to see that clip. We'll mention when I find it, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he really wants this thing, and then he's like, well, you can tell me, because sometimes Santa needs a little bit of help. He's a busy guy, all this kind of stuff. So then he's like, oh, this is what I want. And he's like, I'll make sure you get it, son. And he's like, you now have my undying love, and all of your mistakes are now forgiven.
All of your lies have been forgiven.
Yeah.
But then so he's like, oh shit, I forgot to buy that fucking doll. I better go out and buy the doll.
He's really like happy with himself because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get him this fucking Turbo Man. It's gonna be great. And then he gets into bed and he's like, yeah, babe, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get the Turbo Man. And she's like, oh, yeah, Turbo Man, the one that I asked you to get a month ago. So you've got it? And he's like, yes, I got it 100%. I got it.
Yeah,
like the most suspicious, like. Of course I got it. I don't know why I'm going Brooklyn now.
It's Danny DeVito. It's turned into Danny DeVito. But yeah, so like he goes like, okay, I gotta go get your Turbo Man. So he goes to the store and he's like,
yeah, because it's Christmas Eve and he tells his wife like, oh, I forgot Turbo Man at my work. I left him there in my 5-hour hurry to find the fucking recital.
Yeah.
So he's got to go and like find Turbo Man, and then his kid is like, but you can't leave. You gotta be here on Christmas Eve to go see the parade. And he's like, I promise I will be there.
Yeah, and then he's like, so he's running around. He goes into a shop and he's like, well, this would be easy. Because he doesn't know, like, Turbo Man is like the most popular toy or something. So he goes into just a regular store and he's like, "Hello, one Turbo Man, please." And then the store clerks just fucking like...
Just insane. Everybody in that place was insane.
Everyone, I tell you what, we had this last week as well. Everyone in this film is insane.
Fucking crazy.
Because he goes like, "Yes, one Turbo Man, please." And then they just like pause, look at him dead in the eye, and then just start laughing in his face. I was like
maniacally laughing. Just
yeah. Yeah, like I was like,
and he'll nudge his friend, and he's like, hey. He's asking if we've got any Turbo Man. And they're like,
I was like, imagine if you went into fucking Tesco or something on like, I don't know.
I'll have a PS5, please.
yeah. They're like, hey, come here.
Like, it's the same thing. You can't buy them, but nobody's gonna be like, "You fucking idiot! You want a PS5?"
You just be like, "Oh no, we don't have any." Not just, we don't have any fucking German man.
Yeah. Or just being like, "Oh, actually, I mean, due to the microchips shortage, there's very few PS5s out on the market now. It'd be very, very difficult to get a hold of one." I mean, the scalpers obviously are putting them up on eBay, but they cost you loads of money. It's fucking go crazy. But before he leaves for the thing, he goes to leave. Like, he gets in his car and he goes to drive off. Or is it before he gets? Yeah, it's before he gets in the car. Ted, the fucking neighbor who's trying to bang his wife. We saw him at the recital, and I can't remember if we saw any of him being a bit creepy then, or he starts to be a bit, because he's like recording the kids with the karate and everything. And whatever.
Well, he has his own son.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying that's creepy. I'm just saying, like, that's what we've seen of him. Is he's I'm recording for the kids, and then I think we've seen him since, and we get this idea that he's doing all these really these great things for the kids. And one of them, when Arnie is leaving, is he's got a fucking reindeer, and he's like, I've got it for my kid, and or not for him, but like it's a Christmassy thing, and it'll make the kids smile. And then the reindeer wants to take a chunk out of Arnie. Is that classic kind of, for some reason this animal has a grudge against him for for
literally no reason. Yeah.
But I really like Ted's character for how awful he is. You know what I mean? Because he's this like perfect teeth, kind of like very kind of perfectly suburban kind of thing, like how you'd picture somebody to be, so like suburban America. And but he talks like he is in an advert. He's like advertising something. He's like, "How you doing there, my neighbor," whatever. And he's like, "I'm just taking this deer for the kids. You know how they love Christmas, and I'm just trying to make their Christmas so extra special." and he says, like, "Shame you missed the karate there, neighbor, but don't worry, I got it all on camera." And he's kind of like doing all these little digs at him and whatever. But he just talks like everything he says is like an advert or something, and it makes him feel so like creepy and plastic. I don't know, plastic and rubbery is just how I'd describe him as a person. And it's great. It works well.
Yeah, I totally agree with
because you. He just there's moments where he tries to, at different points before it kind of culminates, there's different points where he tries to kind of be a bit, he's like way too close to the wife. I don't remember what the wife's name was, and it genuinely cringed me out. where he'd do something and she'd be like, haha, and like move away from him, and I was like, oh no, I can feel that one in my bones.
Because he just starts like showing up almost like
he just really forces his way into. Or I think it's because they live in the same street or whatever, and then their neighbors and their sons are like probably best friends. They're like super super good friends. So it's the sons are having a play date or whatever, and
he's fucking the wife,
and he's just clapping cheeks, getting some Christmas claps. No, he's kind of there, like chat with her or helping her with whatever, and
he's baking cookies.
Well, that's the point where he's like
point.
He's like telling her to go take a shower because she's all stressed out. He's like, "Hey, why don't you go and take a shower? I'll sort out these cookies. I'll look after the kids. Don't you worry a thing." And I'm like, it's kind of weird though. Just like going to take a shower. Is that not like? Does that not seem weird to you?
Go take a shower.
Yeah, he's just like, you go on and take a shower, don't you? I'll just leave the towels here. I'll bring them up to you when you're ready.
Yeah. I'll come join you in a bit.
Yeah.
Troy McClure. All right.
Hey. If Patrick Warburton was there, he'd steal your girl. There's no chance.
There's no chance.
If you're not home,
and
he is, I'm sorry, that's not your house anymore.
All right. Put the cookie down.
Hey, come on, guy. Put the cookie down, eh?
All right. What's her name? We'll do it. Oh, we didn't give her a name.
Oh, we didn't give her a name.
Hey, wife. Generic wife. Let's have sex. I couldn't think of anything.
Great. Oh, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know how to make some cookies, man. Come on.
Go, Scott.
Spinach
puffs.
yeah. I gotta make some spinach puffs.
Put the spinach puff down.
Because that's the bit. This is the bit. He's Arnie calls home and he's like, I can't fucking find the dough. I didn't buy one. I lied to you this whole time. But instead, Ted, I think, is the neighbor's name. Ted.
It is Ted. I wrote Ned a couple of times, but it is Ted.
Hadley ho.
Hadley ho there, neighbor. I'm gonna fuck your wife.
Hadley ho, gonna fuck your wife.
Diddly diddly, let's get fiddly.
Diddly diddly do.
Yeah, but that's where the classic line comes in. That's where the Chris Columbus classic line comes in. Where he's like, put the cookie down now. Because on the phone, Ted is basically saying, like, I'm eating your cookies and I'm fucking your wife. She's just in the shower and you bet I'm about to join her. But you do see, because up until this point, you've seen him do a couple of different like things, and you see the whole fucking all of the women in the neighborhood swooning over, well, all the mums in the neighborhood swooning over him, and he's kind of like this, even though he clearly has venom towards
God damn it. No.
towards Arnie, he's always had this kind of outwardly, I'm just trying to do what's best for the kids.
And fuck your wife.
Fuck your wife while I'm at it. But this is the first time you see him you see behind the mask, like the mask slips for a second.
Yeah.
Because he goes to pick up a cookie and it's way too hot and he burns his hand and he drops it and he's like, ah! And the kids are playing and then he's just like, shut up back there, or like, keep it down or something. Yeah. And he like shouts back at them and you're like,
he's not nice after all.
You're like, he's not just a creep, he's probably abusive. Legit.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh.
Yeah, Santa's like, oh, I like your style. Got any crack?
But yeah, you get that kind of that impression. And like you said, before he does the phone call, Arnie, obviously, he went to try and get a Turbo Man. That's when they all laugh at him and stuff. But when they're trying to get into the store and he's waiting, you have this whole bit where Sinbad's character, Sinbad's just a bag full of sin. Sinbad, bag full of sin.
Come get your sin bags.
That comes with free snackadoo. Hey. We're tying them all together in a big old sin bag.
And then the different one, Tarzan or something.
Something Roadman, I don't know. But yeah, so that's when we're introduced to Sinbad's character. Begins with an M something.
Sinbad.
Sinbad. But and I thought Arnie was going to turn around and just deck the guy because he is being the most annoying, the most like in your face. He's constantly trying to get Arnie's attention because he's just suddenly talking to him for some reason. And he's just like grabbing him and just grabbing his shoulder and trying to pull him towards him and like pushing him around and stuff and just being just awful. Generally.
Like, hey, I'm gonna try to get a Turbo Man. Hey, I'm over here. Hey, try to get a Turbo Man.
He's talking about like the toy industry brainwashing kids and it's all a conspiracy to just push more toys and something, whatever. Like all the show rather is just a conspiracy to push the toys and whatever. And he's just like for like 2 whole minutes before they go in, and then it's nobody can get one, and you have then afterwards he says to Arnie like, hey, let's team up, we can find some turbos together, we can smoke a couple stogies. And then Arnold is like, I don't smoke stogies with other people, I smoke them alone because I don't give a shit, I'm ballsy. And he says no and leaves him.
And you just get this whole like, basically the whole film is different ways for them to
try nearly and get a thing. Yeah,
it's like them nearly getting a Turbo Man, and then them breaking a few laws, and then ending up not having a Turbo Man.
The
first one is like, well, the first significant one is they like they go to this store and they're like, okay.
Because some random guy in the street, when they're talking, just goes, "Hey, they're selling. They've got a stock of Turbo Man at this place." And then they're like, "Get in the car now!"
Yeah. They like rush over, and they're like, the store people. They're like, "Okay, it's true. We've got some Turbo Men. We've only got a few, so we're going to need to form an orderly queue. Then you're going to all get a ball with a number on it. Then we're going to do a lottery to see, it's luck of the draw if you get one." And then people are like, fucking kill them. Kill them. Trample them. So they all just
mob mentality.
Yeah, it's fucking like, it's Black Friday sales level shit. They like storm the palace,
which is crazy because it's a real life thing.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You see it and you're like, these people are insane, and then you're like, no, this happens in greater numbers.
Yeah, this is not the worst of it. Yeah, it's just crazy. So all the balls fly everywhere. And they're all
which
like
also they said that the due to supply and demand, the price of them doubled.
Yeah, but you just
and then one of the employees gives this like this sly kind of, he says that and it's like this smug kind of like the price double, and I'm like, man, you're not going to see a penny of that.
Yeah, you get
$8 an hour, like you're not. You are getting fucked over by them more than they're fucking over the people buying the product. Why are you laughing? Unionize. God damn it. Anyway.
But yeah, so they're all trying to get a ball, and then Arnie gets a ball, but then he drops it and it goes flying through the air. And then you get this sequence of Arnie, he's chasing the ball. He's like, pushing old ladies aside and kicking people in the face just so he could get the ball. And then it ends up as this small 4-year-old child catches this bouncy ball, and he's like,
lands
yay!
In their buggy.
Yeah. And the guys, the little kids are like, yay, a bouncy ball. I have no concept of of what this means. It's just a bouncy ball to me.
But it's one of those. It's one of those. Like you see those stupid videos where it's like me trying to be quiet at 2 a.m. in the house, and they knock something over, and then the cup is just like bouncing through the entire house, and then it turns on the fucking TV, and then it flushes the toilet, whatever. That's what this bouncy ball is doing. it just keeps going. It bounces forever, and it turns a corner, and it fucking, brushes his teeth for him, and I don't know. Like, it's insane. It just keeps going. It's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
And then, so you just get this sequence of Arnie chasing this small child. So Arnie, this 6 foot something, ripped to shreds Austrian man, chasing a small 4-year-old through a mall, going, I need the ball! I need the ball! Just like chasing down this little kid.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, even in 1990, that would raise a couple eyebrows.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone saw that in a shopping mall, you'd be like, arrest him now. Arrest him now, actually. Right now. Security now, please. He's just like charging through people. Fucking
but he's like, it's the comedic thing where instead of just either speaking to the kid's mum, or waiting for the kid to finish, because the kid like goes up into a climbing apparatus stuff, and then through a little tunnel, and then down, blah 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 blah. So he follows it the whole way, and he's like squeezing through this tunnel. He ends up in the ball pit, and then tries to get the ball off the kid, and he's like, "Hey, I would trade you this one," and he just takes one of the balls of the ball pit. But what I find funny is that then, not just the kid's mum, but clearly all the other mums that are like there on like a big mum kind of day out with all the mum day and the kid day, just start beating Arnie with everything that they have on them, their handbags and their shit, like all the stuff that they've got with them. They're like, "You pervert, get out of here!" and just beating the shit out of him. And he's like, "No, I want the Turbo Man."
And then he bumps into the sleaziest Santa in the world, who's like,
"Oh my god!" Because he hears him say something about Turbo Man.
Yeah, and he's like, "I got a Turbo Man. Hey, you got any drugs? I got Turbo Man."
Yeah,
and then Arnie's like,
"You have a Turbo Man? Okay, I'll follow you to a dark alley."
Well, no, because he questioned, because he says he's got a Turbo Man, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you got a Turbo Man?" And then Santa goes, "Hey Tony," and then the little like elf, who's a little person, the elf just walks in, and he's got a photo. This is this is like one of the longest notes I have of just me ranting. Like, I'm sorry, what? The elf, Tony, and Santa are dirty dealers of Turbo Men and of toys or whatever. And also, why do they have a photo of Tony holding a Turbo Man and today's paper just on his person? And it's a Polaroid as well. He's just got it on him, and he's like, "Hey, we got what you need." I mean, they know how to do business, but like, what the fuck?
But then it's even, if that wasn't enough of a sign for you to be like, you know what? Don't worry, this isn't gonna be worth it. This can only end bad. But Arnie's like, okay, this is a good idea. So then he goes like to this weird warehouse with this Santa and the elf, and then the Santa like knocks on the door. They do the whole like, "What's the password?" And then it's like, "Oh, it's
I've come for your pickle."
Yeah. It's fucking Rudolph or whatever. And then they open the door.
Oh no! The password was Jingle Bells Batman Smells.
And then Arnie turns into fucking Mr. Freeze, and he's like,
"Nice to meet you. Yeah, Batman Smells."
Did someone say Batman? Nice to meet you. The Ice Age.
But then so he goes into this warehouse, and there's like 50 50 Santas just like rushing around, like getting stuff ready for Christmas. You're just like, what the fuck?
So this must be where they were like, this film isn't really a Christmas film because it's just about a guy trying to get a present for his kid, and it could be the kid's birthday. It could be the kid's fucking bar mitzvah. It could be anything, right? So what makes it Christmas? Why is it Christmas? Because it has nothing to do with Christmas. The toy is not even a Christmassy toy. And they're like, let's just have a fucking warehouse full of Santas who are just like dirty, underground kind of dealers of cheap, shitty knockoff toys, or toys that have like been cheaply bought from overseas, and so they're not even, the Turbo Man that they promised him and that they give to him that he just fucking rips open. It's like Spanish or something. I remember, and it just falls apart. But like, they just threw them in there because they're like, there's got to be some sort of Christmas element to it. I mean, the parade isn't even really like a Christmassy thing.
It's just a parade.
It's just a parade. I mean, the police have a float and they're doing flips and shit. Like, I don't know what this is about. But all of the Santas are working in Santa suits as well. Like, why? They're in a warehouse in the middle. Why are they all dressed as Santa though? I don't get it. Is that like, there's nobody there? Just do your shit. Like, why are you all dressed as Santa? It doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you why it is. It's because they needed an excuse. They were like, okay, I've got this pitch for a film. Well, it's not really a pitch for a film. It's a pitch for a single scene, and then we can build a film around it. Basically, you get 50 Santas, and Arnold Schwarzenegger has to fight all of them. And like, okay, but why? No, it doesn't matter. We'll think of that later. Basically,
what do you mean, why?
Arnie's just going to fight 50 Santas. He's going to fuck a few of them up. And then we'll sort the rest out later.
And I mean, they had a whole gag that I feel like the whole punchline, no pun intended, the whole punchline was just where one really, really big guy punches a really small guy. Because the little Santa like jumps on Arnie's head and he's kind of wrapped around his head, and he's like, I don't know, pulling his hair and he's punching his face or something, and he's like, no. And then the huge Santa, who's like 7 foot, goes to punch him, and Arnie ducks, and he punches the little Santa, who just flies across the room, like the length of the warehouse. And it's like, got him. Now we can move on. And the police like burst in to arrest everyone. I love that they call the police the Grinch as well. One of them's like, it's the Grinch, run. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Like this weird underground Santa network, like that's who they are. They're not just people who are just selling cheap knockoff toys. They're just like, we are Santa. This is Christmas. The police are the Grinch because they don't want us selling these shitty toys to kids and shit. I don't know. I want like not an espionage. What would you call it? Like an underground mafia film about this Santa Claus network of people.
And then after that, they go. This is another one of those. Arnie is just committing another crime because he's like.
Oh, like impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, he impersonates a police officer. He's like, "Don't arrest me. I'm a police officer. You're doing a bad job. Bye. I'm going now." And they're like, "Okay, sir.
Yeah,
good work."
He picks up like a fake shitty badge and just flashes it at them for like half a second, and he's like, "You've just busted in here and ruined a 3-year undercover investigation. I will talk to your superior. Go arrest someone." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
I was like, God damn it, Arnie. First the traffic, now this. What are you going to do next? Let off a bomb?
Yeah.
But before we get there, Arnie is like depressed and sat next to Sinbad in like a diner or something, who is also depressed because they both can't find Turbo Man anywhere.
Does Sinbad just show up? Does he just randomly show up there?
He's already in the diner. He's just chilling, right. And then Arnie comes in. He's like, "I want the coffee," and then Sinbad's like, "Hey, buddy," and then and then Sinbad is just like, "I really wanted to get my kid Turbo Man because I remember when I was a kid, there was this toy that everyone really wanted. It was like our version of Turbo Man, and yeah, like my dad, he didn't care about me all Christmas, said he didn't get me one, but the kid next door got one, and now he's a millionaire." And I was like, "Wait, that's a big leap. That's a big leap to make from my dad didn't get me a Turbo Man, and now I'm not a millionaire. And it's all down to Turbo Man." And then, you get the best bit, because Sinbad has he's just been carrying around a bottle of whiskey or something, and they're doing the, buddy dad thing of like, "Oh, I've got a bottle of whiskey, I'm going to put it in my coffee. Do you want some? Yeah, do you want a stogie in your coffee?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then he pours some in Arnie's coffee. And then it's like reverse shot of like Sinbad talking, and then Arnie's like, "Yeah, I want my son to be a millionaire, so I gotta get him Turbo Man or something." And then it's like the reverse shot. But instead of Sinbad, it's fucking Anakin. The 8-year-old kid just drinking out the bottle of this whiskey bottle.
During his speech about how, for some reason, the fact that his dad didn't get him this one present that he liked meant that they never reconciled, and he became a drunkard and whatever shit or something.
And it's just like,
and he sees his child in this guy,
and you literally see just this 8-year-old downing a bottle of whiskey, and you're like, "Whoa, what is going on?" I mean, this film was insane before, but now this just took a turn. I feel like that was an analogy for where this film goes, because
that's what the actor had to do, the poor kid, just to get through his scenes.
Yeah, that wasn't scripted.
That was live. Yeah, that wasn't scripted. That was live. That was live shit. But yeah, they're having this conversation saying about how he's like, that Arnie was saying that he used to build like a little house and a little tree house and things for his kid or whatever it was, and he used to be such a great dad, and now look at him, he's really shit. And then Sinbad says, like, as if it's like us dads, he's like, "We get one chance a year," talking about Christmas, "we get one chance a year to prove that we aren't screw-ups." I was like, what?
What about the whole year?
You gonna save that for Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You got one chance a year to prove that you... No, what? But the postman guy, it's just... I've got him down here as postman guy rather than Sinbad.
Yeah.
But, like, he's just such an asshole, but, like, unreasonably so. Just beyond... And I think the reason I made that note is because the guy behind the bar, or behind it's a cafe, so behind the counter, he says, because there's like a radio thing that goes on, where they say, if you call in with all the names of the reindeer, then you have a chance to win a Turbo Man figurine. We got one here for you.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't say that because they don't have one, but yeah, he's like, you have a chance to win it. So they immediately run to the payphone and they're like fighting over it. And Sinbad just fucking, like, Arnie gets through to them and says, I had the answer. And he goes to say something. And Sinbad just fucking grabs him and pulls him and rips the phone cord away so that nobody gets it. And I was like, I'm like, okay, you want to fight him to get one? If it's in a store or something and there's one left, you're trying to fight to get one or something, because they've really kind of at this point had moments where they're just throwing each other out of the way and chucking shit at each other or whatever to try and get ahead and get one for their respective, kids. But he just sabotages it for both of them. And he's just insane. I don't know. His character is so strange. And I don't know if I've seen Sinbad in other things and whether he plays a lot of that sort of... He definitely has, like, the comedic chops and stuff to a lot of the expressions he does, so that kind of, like, over-exaggerated comedic kind of looks. And stuff. That kind of thing. And so I don't know if he does a lot of stuff like that. But, I mean, I was like, this guy is awful. He's just the worst. I don't know what his real like point of him being in this is, because Arnie is like, oh, he's bad, and it's not like this guy is the kind of, he's also trying to find it, but he's a good soul, and he's trying to work toward. Again, I kind of like that they're going against the cliches maybe, but the person who kind of really deserves it, because he's really trying to put the effort out there to get it for his son or whatever, he's just a nutbag. he's just crazy.
I mean, it's like we'll get to it, but at the end it's really like personified to 11 how insane he is.
Yeah.
Because like, so anyway, so we get to
then it's the radio.
He rips out the phone, and then they find out the radio station's not that far away. So they're
then racing to try and get to the radio station in time, which I was like, somebody's called in already, dude.
Yeah.
You can't run faster than a phone line.
So they're like running down the street, and Sinbad's like fucking throwing post out of his post bag to lose weight, and I was like, oh well, that's bloody where all the lost postcodes, I guess.
Yeah.
Sinbad's just throwing mail down a street. But then they get there. Oh no, before they get there, we have my favourite line, which is Arnie's running, and he's clearly fitter than Sinbad, so he's like pulling away, and then he sort of like looks back and goes, "I'm having a good time, bye."
Yeah.
But then so they get there, and like Arnie gets there first, and he's like, I have the answer, and he's just like,
he just breaks his way in.
Yeah, breaking into the recording bit. He's like, give me the doll, I have the answer, and he says the answer.
Because it's the names of the different reindeers, so he just runs in, he's like, Dasher does a bliss and and the guy's like, what the fuck?
and then Sinbad comes in, and he's like, I have a bomb, and I'm gonna fucking kill all of you if you don't give me
He's just holding some of the, like, a parcel that he's taken out of his post.
And then he's like, people do this all the time, they send bombs in the mail for some reason, so I have a bomb
that I've kept.
I'm going to fucking kill all of you if you don't give me this fucking doll.
During this time, I was like, are they still live? Are they on air still? And everybody's just listening to this? Because they must be, right?
Well, I think he's playing a song, so he takes off his headphones.
Oh, maybe he... Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe he...
Could you imagine if you're just like... this one's gonna be a fun ride, so get Jazz Radio 2FM, enjoy the smooth jazz of Ray Charles, and then it starts playing, and then the song finishes and it comes back to the presenter, and he's like, oh my god.
You just hear the mic like getting knocked around and like little kind of feedback bits and pieces, and then you just hear like, I'm not kidding, I'll blow it up. And he's like, put it down.
Fucking kill everyone.
And he grabs the thing and he's like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently having a small technical issue, and we will be back with... Oh, fucking do it!
No, it's like, no, please don't kill me, please don't... Oh, sorry, 2 secs. I hope you enjoyed that one, and this one is, this cool...
One of my favourites.
Yeah, I hope you... See if you can work out who this is by... And then it finishes again. It's like, oh god, my leg! He's blown off my leg.
He's actually blown up the studio.
Yeah.
But by the way, the radio guy I described as being B&M Bargain Gary Oldman.
I thought he was like B&M Penn from Penn and Teller.
Yeah, he's both.
Yeah.
It's the ponytail that really does that bit, for sure.
Yeah.
But, he just... that's good. But he says about the bomb, and then I think he, like, accidentally drops it, and they're like, ah!
Oh, it's not a bomb, you fucking idiot.
It's not a bomb, it's like a little music box. And I was like, yeah! He just took one out of his back, just like a random fucking parcel out of his back. Come on. I wouldn't have believed him. You know? I mean, he is crazy, so who knows?
He is insane. And then, we get to...
But the guy called the police before they got there.
Yeah. So the police are there, and then they're like... They realise that the radio guy is like, oh no, it's a voucher for a doll. I never said there was a doll, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we leave now, bye. And then, like, they're leaving and all the police show up. And then Sinbad pulls the same trick again. He's like, I've got a fucking bomb. And at first, I thought it was going to be... Because they're like, they all put the guns down and Sinbad and Arnie escape or whatever. And at first, I thought it was going to be a gag of like, oh, he's like left this bomb. And then they open it and it's a Turbo Man. Like,
that'd be good. That'd be good.
Yeah, but then instead, they're like running away, and I thought it was going to be the Turbo Man thing, so I just was not expecting it at all. Because you see Arnie like running away, like he's in the street, and like in the background is the building he's just run away from,
and it's the same cop that stopped him before as well. He's like the head of the squad, and he goes to pick up a present. The box on the floor, saying, don't worry, I was part of the bomb squad for 10 years.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then like you see this exterior, Arnie's running, and then it just fucking building like. The room that they were in just fucking blows up. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
I know. I was like, oh my god, he fucking killed them.
Yeah, literally. That's exactly what I thought.
This has changed now from being a funny, happy, like, haha, oh no, he's doing things that he shouldn't really do that. He's getting himself in trouble and blah, 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 to like fucking murder. I mean, manslaughter at least. Everything before then was like, oh, funny, silly, he's getting involved with, the underground thing, and he's escaping, and it's funny, and he's after the Turbo Kid, and this other guy's crazy, and fucking, like, suddenly it's like one of the World War kind of films where they're like storming Normandy and you see people with like limbs fucking missing and screaming, like blood everywhere and guts, and it's like,
he's
it's not like that.
He's like, but he's like, well, fuck, because Arnie doesn't know that they're not all dead. He didn't see like, because it cuts back and it's just
That's
like
true.
The classic, the Chief's got...
He's got soot all over his face.
Yeah, black face and all, like, his...
Black face? Oh no.
Oh no.
That'd be a different film, wouldn't
it? Taking a turn. No. He's got the soot on his face. And then, he's all fine. But Arnie doesn't know that. So he's just like, well, I guess...
That's a good point.
Well, I guess, like, I'd be like an accomplice to manslaughter from fucking murdering about 20 policemen, so nothing matters anymore. I'm gonna break into my I'm gonna break into my neighbor's house and steal things because fuck it.
Yeah, I love he gets to that point. He's like, "Oh man,
I'll go to prison
suck.
Anyway." Yeah,
I've not managed to get this stuff for my kid, and it's awful." And he remembers back to Ted being like, "I've already got a Turbo Man. He's sitting very nicely under my tree."
And he's like, "Sick, I'm gonna nick your Turbo Man while you're fucking my wife."
I have an idea. I'm ballsy. I take your Turbo Man from under your tree. I do whatever I want, when I want. I don't need permission. I'm a stud.
Smoke my Turbo Man whenever I want. But he like, so he's breaking into the house, and then he like realizes, he's like, "What the fuck am I doing, man? This is just insane. I'm going to prison anyway."
Because he sees the note from the dad where it's like, again, even though he's fucking creepy, but he's like, "To kid, whatever his name is, with like from your loving father," or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What am I doing? What have I become?"
But then, fucking, it's all going to shit. Like, there's carolers outside who's sneaking around, and then this reindeer just like comes into the house. The reindeer from before that hates him for no reason.
Yeah,
comes into the house, starts charging him, and he just goes like,
"I've fucking had enough."
Just fucking punches his reindeer.
I thought that one was great.
Straight in the nose, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He's just murdered 20 policemen. Now he's punching a reindeer in the face.
That bit was so good because he decides to put it back, but he accidentally, the reindeer comes after him, and he manages to shut the reindeer in a room or something, but in the mean kind of during this time he accidentally knocked something like a nativity thing or something like that. Like something went into the fireplace, so it sets on fire, and he's trying to put it out, and then it sets other things on fire, and it starts going crazy. And then Ted and his wife notice, and they come into the house, and then they having a go at him, and he's like, "I can explain," and they're like, "No," and blah blah blah, blah. The classic whatever.
Yeah.
And then they leave, and then the reindeer comes back out, and it looks at him, it's like, "Wah," and charges at him, and he's like, "Nah, fuck it," just fucking socks it. Right. Oh god, that was so I was like, no way is he gonna punch that reindeer. And he just fucking punched. The writers must have had something against reindeer. I mean, my god.
Yeah. And it sorts him right out.
Yeah, I know.
Afterwards, they're having a drink. He's just like,
yeah, that's true.
He's got a couple of beers, and he's like,
"Yeah, I'll have some beer, fucking reindeer.
I like this reindeer. He smokes a stogie wherever he wants.
No,
he takes no shit."
I was like, Arnie's fucking hammered.
Yeah.
He's been drinking all that whiskey with the postman. Now he's drinking beer with the reindeer.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's fucking... And that maybe the ending doesn't actually happen. Arnie's just fucking off his nut.
Yeah.
Turns up to the parade, he's like,
"I'm Turbo Man."
Oh no. Oh, that's... Yeah. He just turns up.
Sinbad turns up like,
in his like pajamas or something.
Yeah.
And then his kid is like, "Dad, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'll save you, son. I'm Turbo Man." He's like got like fucking beer in each hand. And then the wife is like, I don't know what his name is in the fucking thing. She's like, "Arnold, stop it. Stop it right now. You are embarrassing me. You're embarrassing your son. And you stop this right." And he's like, "No, get the fuck out of my way." Like pushes her face. He's like, "I'll save you, son. I'm Turbo Man."
It's like Sinbad in this, like Sinbad get to it, but Sinbad like turns up and he's evil. But in real life, Sinbad just turns up and he's like, "Hey, I know this guy. I've met this guy." Like, try to calm him down. He's just like,
Sinbad's evil. I kill him. Arrest him, officer. He's trying to steal my son.
Oh, but before we get to that, I mean, honestly, the ending is like pretty much as crazy as that in a different way.
I mean, well, I don't know about you, but I just gave up. The whole ending sequence, I was like,
it's insane.
I was like, there's no point. This is gonna be. I just can't write anything. I just can't explain this.
I've got very few notes after. I mean, I've got the bit where I say Arnie fucking, and then all capitals, Dex the reindeer. What the fuck? Just because then we have we've got the mum and creepy Ted, who, because again, you have the whole thing where Ted has been so fucking creepy. Like the carolers are singing beforehand, before all the stuff with him trying to steal from the house. Carolers singing, and then they walk outside. Ted's obviously in Arnie's house because the kids are there and whatever as well, and that whole thing was going on. So they come out of the house, and he's like, this is nice. And he puts his arm around Arnie's wife, who's then like, that's a bit much. And then it pretends she kind of shakes his hand off while doing a little dance to the carolers or something to you know. So it's like, he is A, clearly trying to make moves on you, B, very creepy, C, does not care for your personal space, and is giving off very creepy, very like, again, like abusive, control-y vibes. And then after the thing with Arnold, where she's like, I mean, this poor woman, she's like, my God, my husband's trying to break into his house. Like, guys, please. I just want to have a Christmas, please. And after all that, and then he's like, I'll drive you to this is creepy Ted. It's like, I'll drive you to the parade, you and the kids. And she's like, yes, I think that's the best idea. And I'm like, fuck it, can you drive, lady? Just drive yourself. Just drive you and your kid, and he can do what he wants. What the fuck? He is so, come on, really?
Get a taxi. Get a restraining order. Actually.
Like, obviously he's the creepy one, but come on, lady. You know, just have a little bit of self-preservation. You know, this guy's trying to fucking kidnap you. And then, again, it's a film where there's the dad who isn't present enough, and he needs to learn the priority and importance of family at Christmas time, and have that kind of bit where he learns and lessons were learned and whatever. But Arnie doesn't. I mean, he makes the choice earlier where he's like, no, this is wrong, I shouldn't steal this present. But he doesn't have a moment where he consciously he doesn't have this moment where he consciously makes this change of being like, I know how I'm going to fix this. I'm going to do this thing, or I'm going to kind of make this effort, and I'm going to make it up to them. I'm going to be honest with the kid and say, look, I'm really sorry. I lied to you. I don't have this, but you know what? I've got this other idea. We're going to do this instead. We're going to make our own Turbo Man or something, or like, you know, I've pulled some strings with the CEO of Mattress King, whatever the fuck he works at, and we're gonna have a meeting with Turbo Man himself or something. I don't know. He doesn't have any kind of idea. He just accidentally stumbles when he's hiding from the fucking police because he bumps into the police again.
They're like, hey, right? I nearly died.
Yeah, because he bumps into the policeman whose hands are like
bandaged up,
completely bandaged up, and he bumps into him and spills coffee all over him or something. He's running from the police, and then they think that he's the replacement for Turbo Man after the previous. I mean, you have that gag where he's like, "Hey, look, I mean, you know what happened with the previous Turbo Man? They said that he's out of critical condition now, and he's actually opening his eyes, which is a really good sign. So
yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about the suit and all this kind of stuff." So he just gets accidentally put into this and just shoved up onto the float, and he's in a Turbo Man suit and everything, and they're in the parade,
Yeah, and then they magically have a turbo, like
it's like a limited edition,
like shiny
super
gold,
special Turbo Man thing.
And they're like, you Arnold Schwarzenegger, you get to pick who gets this. It's not random. You get to decide. And he's like, I will choose my own son.
I was expecting him to be like, you, my son, and then them to be like, hey, no, what the fuck? You can't do look, we're going to get in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of bias here. It has to be unbiased. And then they turn to the sidekick guy dressed in a big bear, fluffy pink bear costume thing. And they're like, you pick a kid. Just pick one.
Yeah.
But yes, he ends up on the float. During this time when all of this weird shit is happening, his wife is just casually getting assaulted in the car by creepy Ted. Like, it's nuts because they're in the car because they just let the kids out of the car and run off. They're like, hey, Mum, can you go and park the car while we go to the parade? And she's like, yeah. They just get out of the car and they're like, bye, kids. We'll find you somewhere. And they're sat in the car. And again, I just feel like if you were this woman obviously knows, like she would know. It's not like he's being. I know that, like in a movie sense, it's always like, it's always very obvious to us and not the person in the film. Yeah. But like, he's been super creepy. He's been doing stuff where, like, he put the star on top of the thing and everything. He's clearly trying to like worm his way in. He's getting very, very regularly way up in her personal space and too close and too much. And she's sitting in this car and he's like heavily. I can't remember what they're talking about. But there was a point where I was like, get out of the car. Get out of the car now. Just be like, or even, because there's no point where it's kind of funny. It's like she lets it really build up. I guess, okay, you could say that she's like scared and stuff, and then eventually it builds up and she just fight or flight reacts. But like,
yeah.
She lets it build up where he's saying all this creepy stuff. He's getting really close to her. He puts his arm either around her seat or something like that. And he's saying about how, women would kill to be in your position and we shouldn't hide our feelings anymore and all this kind of stuff. And then she just decks him in the face with his fucking eggnog drink. And I was like, wow.
She's just spending too much time with Arnie.
Yeah.
Just be like,
but then
reindeer.
That's pretty much the last we see of him. We see one bit where his kid drags him out in the crowd and he's covered in eggnog, or like he finds his kid in the crowd and he's like, oh, what's happening? And that's kind of it. But that was the culmination it up to that point, and then we never see him again. He just gets hit in the face and then he's like, says some line like, well, that didn't go as well as I hoped.
And then we just get the insane ending where so Arnie's on the float he's like waving to the crowd, and then we see like off camera they do the thing where they don't reveal who it is right away.
I thought it was going to be creepy guy.
Yeah, so did I because I forgot about Sinbad by this point.
He comes and goes.
Yeah, but I was like, so you see the evil, I don't know, Dr. Octopus, whatever.
Yeah. Dr. Brain in a jar.
Yeah. Yeah. And it, like, you see the real guy who's like smoking a cigarette or something. They're like, you're on in 5. And then he like just gets yeeted off screen. And then you see like close up of the hands and, the boots being put on and stuff. And you're like, oh, who's it going to be? And then Sinbad is like, I see you got your kid up there with your doll. I'm going to fucking kill everyone to get this doll. I'm going to fucking fight you. I'm going to nick your kid. I'm going to chase your kid. And like, they have this whole chase scene of Sinbad in a weird rubber outfit with a big brain on his head, chasing a young 8-year-old
Anakin Skywalker.
boy, yeah, chasing Anakin Skywalker up the side of a building. And because everyone thinks it's part of the show, everyone's just like, yay, get him, kill that kid, whatever.
which is another point, because so Arnie picks the kid, his kid.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, calls him by name, and the kid's like, how does he know my name? He knows my name. Kid runs up to the float to get his prize, and then it's supposed to be a choreographed thing originally, obviously, because they assume that Arnie is the person who's standing in and he knows the choreography.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a choreographed fight where the bad guy comes in and his minions come in. Turbo Man fights them off and saves the day, and then the kid gets the thing. So his kid obviously knows, like, you know, it's supposed to be like a thing, but you'd know that you weren't in any danger because you're like, it's part of the show, right? So the kid just fucking full pelt runs off through the parade to climb up like onto a roof and stuff. Nobody stops him, being like the highlighted kid, the one like everybody's watching. Everybody's watching this fight unfold, and the kid and everything. A, nobody stops him. B, what is the kid doing? Why is he You'd run to your mum and hide behind your mum and be like, he's gonna get me. But he's like, I gotta fucking climb this building. Yeah, I'm gonna get away from it. I gotta fucking do it. I gotta jump off this building. Save me, Turbo Man.
And Sinbad's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking get this kid. I'm gonna climb that fucking...
You better climb that building, kid, because if I get to you, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah. And then I was like, it just doesn't make any sense. Because not only is Sinbad like climbing the side of the building trying to fucking kill a kid or something, like, they're like, the whole crowd are like, quick, Turbo Man, stop him now. And I was like, what do you expect this man to do? All of the adults here should know that this is just a rubber suit and they're just actors. But, oh no, wait. No, this is a functioning Iron Man suit.
Yeah. I know, it's fucking great. I mean, I know they have the disclaimer bit before where they're like, you know, we've worked out the kinks when that last guy nearly fucking died, and he's showing some brain activity now, and you're like, oh, haha, that's funny, the suit is like whack, whatever. But it's fully working. He's fighting Sinbad in his Brainiac fucking outfit, and he's just shooting these high velocity fucking metal discs out of his arms. Because his kid is like, Dad, use your turbo gauntlets, and he's like, dum, 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 and he's giving him fucking brain trauma. Oh man!
And they're like, it's just the way the crowd are like, yeah, quick, Turbo Man, use your fucking jetpack. And he just does. Yeah. You're just like, what? They're like, quick, use your jetpack, actor in a rubber suit. And he's like, okay, I will. And
waiting for the wires on the crane and him to be like, woo! And he just goes, just flips out 2 buttons and goes... Just so it slowly lifts off.
And why? Where are the military? Like, they're like, this crazy scientist guy's like, I've invented an Iron Man suit, and you know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna promote a toy. I'm gonna fucking make sure we get loads of sales from this toy. And the military are like, cool, we'll let that slide. We're not confiscating that. That's all good. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, and all the police standing around and just like,
whoa!
I don't see anything wrong here. This is part of the show. As this guy is just like,
clearly not in control either. Like, Arnie's just flying about New York or where. I say New York, I don't know where this is. But he's just like flying around this city, like, really high up in the air, and then it just cuts out. He's just falling in the sky, and people are like, yeah, go Turbo Man.
As he's like,
gonna fucking
I'm
die.
actually gonna die. Ah!
Yeah.
I can't control this thing. I wasn't meant for this. I'm
Why
gonna
is
die.
nobody helping me?
And they're like, yay, Turbo Man, look. Yay. They're just like, on the adults are on their phone, like, yeah, honey, it's Turbo Man. Okay, it's. What time is it? Can we finish this parade? Like, how long is it going to take? He's like, ah!
And Anakin's hanging off the side of the building.
Oh,
you know, the
yeah.
random kid that he picked. So it could have been any kid, and people are still like, yeah, this is part of the show.
Yeah.
Kid hanging off the side of the building. This is part of the show.
Kid was a plant.
Just fucking. It's just like, what the fuck? And then, like, so he saves the day.
Well, can we just? I feel like we need to just highlight just a little more about the fact that his kid is hanging on for dear life, because, and it's just, I mean, his kid climbs up the side of this building on a like a ladder, and crazy man Sinbad follows him. The kid then grabs onto like a sign that falls forwards, and he is hanging like a monkey bar fucking thing in the air, like a whole building between, like, of a whole building's worth of height between him and the floor. Instant
like
death.
3 stories.
Yeah, like, or more,
At
like
least.
6 or 7 stories high, right? Him fucking up on this thing, Sinbad also there, and he's still trying to steal the toy from the fucking kid. He's taking it out of his backpack. He's like, give me that fucking toy. This kid's gonna die. They're both gonna die. And Arnie is just doing fucking donuts in the air, spinning around, just going, ah. What is the end of this film? It is insanity. Honestly, it's almost, I would say, it's almost crazier than the fucking Mario Bros shit. Because at least that was in like a whole other place with other rules and shit. This is real life. It starts out as just this guy who's like, I need to get a toy for my kid. And then it's like, fucking madness. Jesus Christ.
So he saves the kid. Arnie saves the kid. No one else does, by the way. They're
Because
just like, save him, Turbo Man.
his kid fucking falls, and everyone's like, oh.
They're like,
this actual kid,
this-
I'm looking at this child, and he is falling 6 stories down this building, and Arnie's like fucking jetpacking towards him, and he manages to catch him. What if he didn't catch him? The kid fucking hits the ground.
At what point is it like 3 stories worth of free fall? Where they're like, maybe this isn't part of the show. Like, is this scripted or not? Don't see any wires here. This child falling out of the fucking sky.
This guy just turns to his wife and he's like, I don't think this is part of the show.
No, it's like the
kid just fucking hits the ground and everyone goes, oh no.
No,
Honey, I don't think we should let that kid climb that building.
No, it's like
on his own.
Kid. It would be the kid splats on the ground. Everyone goes like, yeah! And then it's like the slow. Oh
and then
no.
just the oh in the background, just that one guy. Oh.
No, it'd be like the slow clap and then one woman just goes, ah!
Oh,
and then you still have Arnie flying about.
he's still flying around going, ah! Oh my god. There's a bit where Arnie flies head first into a building and he just goes bang, and he stays there until he manages to shift position and the jetpack pushes him down the building instead. I was like, what the fuck is this?
How does anyone think this is scripted? Have they not seen the show? They're like, yeah, Turbo Man who's flying through the air, all coordinated. And then this random guy who doesn't sound anything like Turbo Man. He just sounds like some weird, strange.
Who knew that kid
man.
by name?
Yeah, who knows that kid by name? He's like, Jamie. I think his name's Jamie.
Yeah,
Maybe I made that up.
The kid's name is Jamie, yeah.
He's like, Jamie, I'm your dad. I never find this help.
yeah, screaming in agony and terrified. Help me!
Well, there's other guys like, come here, you shit, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, give me that fucking toy.
They're like, wow, they really did a number with the actors this year, huh?
But then,
man,
that's basically it. At the end, as I mentioned at the start,
yeah,
he saves the day. Kids all fine, everything. Then Sinbad's being arrested. The kid's like, you know what, Sinbad?
Doesn't Sinbad actually fall those 6 stories?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think he just
he
falls.
does because he lands on like a present thing
on one of the floats or something. Yeah,
present. Yeah, so it like cushions the blow.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, a few ribs are broken at least.
Yeah.
But he's just like, so the kid's like, don't worry, Sinbad, you can have the.
Because he's ranting about his kid, like, I need to get this for my kid. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And they're like, you're going away for a long time.
They're like, you're not going to, by the time you see your kid's going to be a man.
And he's like, well, here you go. Here's Turbo Man, and you can give it to your kid. And I was just like, he ain't seeing his kid. That's not going to his kid.
He's not seeing that kid anytime soon.
That doll remains in police evidence for about 40 years. Yeah. He gets it. He comes out. He's going to come out 40 years later. They're like, you know, when they check you out of prison, they're like, one Turbo Man.
Special edition.
One rubber evil brain man suit. So he's come out 40 years in a big rubber brain suit holding this Turbo Man doll, looking for his now 50-year-old son, like, I got the Turbo Man.
I did it, son. Do you love me?
Yeah. That's basically it.
Yeah, it just, and I don't understand that. What is that ending supposed to? He gives him the Turbo Man, and it's like, this man is insane. Why does he get the Turbo Man? Kid, he tried to kill you. Keep it. Because then the kid's like, oh, I've got my own. Why would I want Turbo Man when I have my own one? Because my dad is Turbo Man. I was like, keep the fucking figure. You can't, like, your dad has to work still. He's not an action figure.
And he goes back to school and he's like, ha, my dad's Turbo Man. And then he comes back to school and everyone has a Turbo Man doll. And they're like, you're stupid.
Yeah, because he did say at some point that, like, everybody would have one, and like, if you don't, then you're a loser or whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna get.
And he's like, "Well, my dad's Turbo Man," and they're like, "Fuck off."
No, he's not. My dad's Turbo Man. Shut up! I've got a doll. Fuck you.
Start beating him with the dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is. Yeah. That's the movie.
That's the movie. Before, look. First off, Shag, Marry, Kill. It's Arnie in this.
Yeah.
Arnie in Twins.
Twins.
Yeah.
Or Arnie in that video where he's like, I smoke my stogies.
It's Stogie Arnie. I mean, I think you definitely. Do you know? I think this is kind of clear cut, really.
There's only one real. There's only one. There's only one.
I mean,
I want to see if you can get it.
Okay. Look. I'm gonna have to lay it out, right? So, first of all, you fuck stud Arnie, right?
Yeah,
he's a stud. You can't, like. What are you talking about? Come on, right? Stud Arnie. It's in the name.
He takes what he wants and gives nothing back.
Yeah, exactly. You know. So you fuck him. You definitely kill Arnie from Jingle All the Way. He just has to go. He's just not. He's just the worst father. He will break so many laws. He will get you in so much debt and trouble. He will make a supervillain arch nemesis that will probably try to kidnap you at some point.
Sinbad's coming to get you all the time.
Yeah, you constantly living in fear of Sinbad, right? And then you marry Arnie from Twins because he's the perfect human being. He's the perfect specimen, and he's loaded. They have like millions of dollars.
Yeah. Your uncle would be,
and your uncle would be Danny DeVito. Oh,
he's like $1 million.
$1 million. That's the easiest shag, marry, kill I think we've done.
Easy, so easy. But yeah, you got the correct answer. But bad film, good.
I mean, I love films that have that. It has that like 90s feel, right? Until it goes crazy at the end. It's that 90s kind of comedy, Christmassy feel to it, which I just have a real soft spot for. Even when it's shit, it just has that. Whenever it has that feel to it, I'm like, oh man, I don't know what it reminds me of, but I like it. It goes fucking nuts at the end, but I got a good laugh out of it. So I'd say like, you know, I'd say bad film, good. I'd just say like bad. I mean, the film isn't good, but my experience was good. I had a positive experience.
I say bad film, great.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
It's just,
I love it.
Like,
it was like
where
it was
does
bad,
that film
It was
go?
like bad film, all right.
Oh no, you know what? He punches that reindeer. Bad film, great.
Yeah.
I'm against violence to animals, but in the film, hilarious.
It's just
fucking
like
socks it right in the face.
It was just the ending for me. The ending was like, because I was like, yeah, this film.
They just did a load of crack and then just filmed the rest of that.
And then he turns into an insane superhero, and you're like, all right, well, bad film, great. But should we read some reviews for the film?
Yeah. Let's skibbity bap to some reviews.
As always, I got mine from IMDb. You got yours from Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first? I got two little quick ones.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. My first one it doesn't have a rating, but it does say it's from Kirpianuskus. And it says, this is from this year as well. And it says, I saw it less as a Christmas film, but as great occasion to Arnold Schwarzenegger to give life to a character easy to remind fathers and the true meaning of Christmas. Full stop.
The true meaning of Christmas? I mean, honestly, it kind of gets lost in this film. I mean, what's the true meaning of Christmas?
A very easy film about serious themes, far to be impressing. In few scenes less than amusing, but seductive for the way to remind old truths in not bad way. And sure, for ... tension, rivalries, fights, and a piece of plastic. That mate was just
incredible.
Yeah. Then my second one was from 2002. This is 6 out of 10. This is from 39. And it says, one reviewer calls this movie sick, but I guess my years at the post office has twisted my mind. Oh my
god. It's him, he's writing from jail.
This is Sinbad. This has twisted my mind that nothing affects it more. I can relate to the Sinbad character. The job can drive you drink. A lot of
He's clearly on the source.
Yeah. A lot of the people there behave off-center. The movie lags in spots, but is entertaining. It is a family movie like the Santa Claus. I mean,
I want to compare this to the Santa Claus. Oh.
This is so far removed from the Santa Claus. You have no idea.
I want Santa Claus to be dressed up as Turbo Man and fucking fly around shooting people.
But it's Tim Allen.
This could have been Santa Claus conquers the Martians. He puts on the fucking Turbo Man suit and just kills them all.
And Sinbad is the Martian.
Yes! Santa's just doing flybys with his fucking rocket pack, shooting his metal discs out and killing people.
No, he's not. He's just doing circles because he got.
No, he's just
control.
Oh man,
What have you got?
Yeah, I mean, as always, I take from Rotten Tomatoes, and as occasionally happens, it said that there weren't any audience reviews, unfortunately, because the film has not released yet. So I do look forward. Yeah, I do look forward to when this film releases and we can watch it properly. But no, it's for the critic reviews. I got a couple of spicies. One from Neil Smith from the BBC. This was back in April 2001. So he's had a good
a good time.
Good. Was that 5 years or so to reflect on it? 2 out of 5 stars. You know, not all too bad, but not good. Saying, you'll need an awful lot of Christmas cheer to forgive Arnold Schwarzenegger for his 4th and hopefully last venture into comedy. A turkey that needs stuffing on the most inaccessible shelf on your local video store.
Oh,
got him. And this one, which I did think was good. Jeffrey Westhoff, Northwest Herald. Sorry, from the Norse, the Northwest Herald. Who gave
from the Norse gods?
From the Norse gods realm, yeah. August 2002, so a year after the last one. Again, weird rating, 2 out of 4. Just put 1 out of 2. I mean,
50%.
Just say 50-50. You know, that's kind of weird. Just put 0.5. I don't know. It's weird. Out of 1, yeah. Out of 1 whole merit.
Yeah.
And it says, Jingle All the Way won't become a holiday chestnut, but it does deserve to be roasted.
Oh.
Yeah, get him. Get him, Jeff.
Very good.
Oh, man.
Well, look, we've talked about some dumb shit, but
shit.
Should we talk about some real life dumb shit?
Yeah. Hit me with a.
Well, I thought, it's Christmas, although by the time this gets released, it's after Christmas. I thought
we're right, they're wrong. So
yeah,
it's not yet Christmas.
It's not yet Christmas.
And if you think that you're listening to it after Christmas, you're wrong and we're right. Because right now, which is now that you're listening to, right now, it's not yet Christmas. I'm just letting you know that you're wrong, so just so that you're aware, carry on. PSA.
Well, let's play their game. Let's play their game. Even though it's not Christmas yet, I thought for something a little different, we could say what we got for Christmas, having not seen what we got for Christmas.
Okay.
So I got for Christmas. I got some stogies.
I was going to say stogies. I got a box of stogies.
And I got $1 million.
Nice.
What did you get for Christmas?
Well, I mean, the stogies joke is out the window now, isn't it?
Yeah, I took it. That's why I went first.
I got James Corden's head in a box.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
Hello, it's me. I'm still alive.
Oh no. I also got a baseball bat just in case he goes back to life. Yeah, and some stogies.
So, I'll tell you what else I got. Yeah. I got an emoji plush, a meh emoji plush.
Oh, God.
Which is you actually sent me a picture.
Yeah, I did.
The other day.
I was at the Winter Wonderland in London.
Yeah.
With my girlfriend, and I was like, no, wait. I had to take a picture of this. And it was just a bunch of the Emoji Movie, like, plushies. They had... Okay, here's some real-life dumb shit for you. We were walking around, and I guess you could see this at most places, but where you had all of the different, like, stands with all of the things... It was just such a surreal thing. You'd have some stands where it's like, oh, nice, big, cute, fluffy animals, and then Thanos. Just among them. And then the other one, and it's all of these animals, but they're all hung upside down, so they look like they're fucking there for a slaughterhouse.
Like,
they're all hung up by their feet.
Peking duck.
Yeah.
Like...
and then there was one where it was a bunch of, I can't remember what it was. It wasn't like Disney or something. It was something else. I can't remember what they were, but they all looked like they were just being hung because they were just hung by the neck.
Oh my god!
I was just like, "Why is this Winter Wonderland?"
Merry Christmas.
I think the Thanos one was my favorite though because it was a stand just full of animals like tigers and things and whatever.
Yeah.
And then Thanos was just on the wall, like he was just there. Okay.
Like, hey. Oh, that's good. Well, that's about everything that we've got for this week. We hope that you had a good Christmas.
We hope that you will have a good Christmas, as it will be Christmas from now, and you're wrong.
You're wrong. We're right.
We're right.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
But next week we're doing... What are we doing? Like New Year's Eve or something?
Yeah, it's on the list as New Year's Eve, but I didn't know if that was just like a... is that actually a film?
Because I made this list quite a long time ago, so I don't know if that's actually a film, or if we have to find a film that's related to New Year's Eve. I guess we'll see next week.
It comes to the day where we make the notes and we're like, Aiden, there's no film called New Year's Eve. What are we doing? It's some shitty rom-com.
Yeah, you've watched something and I've watched Jingle All the Way again.
Yeah. We've watched two films that are vaguely about New Year's and then we come together and we talk about them.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
If you want to keep up to date with us, we're on Instagram, Twitter, @BadFilmKid. You can get into contact with us there if you want to tell us your own dumb shit, or you can give us an email, badfilmgood@gmail.com.
Yeah, just pop one over.
Just pop us an email, mate.
Just send us an email, send us some stogies.
Send us some stogies.
My throat hurts. Not hurts yet, but
same.
I can feel it. Like my throat is going to get hoarse from all the fucking Arnie impressions.
I'm going to have no voice tomorrow. So if you want to help support us, you can give us a 5-star review or tell a friend. That'd be nice. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
And say, listen.
No. That's it.
Just go to someone.
Yeah.
Just go, oh! And they're like, what? You're like, it's a podcast, Bad Film.
Yeah. And then when you're flying through the streets on an uncontrollable jetpack, just drop a couple.
Leaflets. Print out some leaflets.
Just drop a couple shout outs.
Yeah.
Just for us.
Be nice. But as always, we're going to leave you with an inspirational quote to get you through Christmas. Wait, is it? Yeah, we've had.
Don't question it. Christmas has not come yet.
Right.
Okay. And anyone else who thinks otherwise is wrong.
Okay, cool. Well, to get you through Christmas that's not happened yet is we've got some inspirational quotes from Inspirobot, which is a randomly generated image with a random quote slapped on top of it. What have you got for us?
So, I've got I always have a lot of sky, and this is this is more than 2/3 worth of sky from top down. And it's very nice and blue, lots of clouds, which I feel may be inaccurate considering that this is over a desert, a very barren looking kind of desert. We got some dunes. So you can kind of see some like traces in the sand where the wind has kind of swept through it. There's one guy who possibly very underdressed, considering he's just wearing like a sleeveless shirt, some trousers. He's probably burning up in that sun. But he's walking along the top of the dune. And then the quote in the sky just says, "The mind is simply the origin of the quantum complexity of the impossible and the physical manifestation of existence."
Of course.
Yes,
well,
that's what this guy is thinking with his like sun-stroked brain, because he doesn't have any protection. Yeah, he's just off his nut. He's getting some of that fucking cactus juice. And he's gone loopy.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Just a little thought.
I've got mine's Matrix themed, because I chose this because the new Matrix is coming out, or maybe it's out. Is it when?
It doesn't matter. I think it came out today, actually. Whichever day that you're listening to, whenever you are listening to it, it's out today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new Matrix film is out, so I thought, hey, this is on
brand.
Brad. The text says, "Sell buns, code free," and the picture is 3 kittens, each wearing jumpers, in a pram with a dog also wearing a jumper and a maid's hat, pushing the pram on its back, on its hind legs.
What the fuck?
This is like one of the rare occasions that the picture is even weirder than the quote.
Yeah.
Just 3 kittens being pushed around by a dog in a pram. I hope that's left you inspired.
It's left me unnerved.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, enjoy your stogies, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And that stogie video, I mean, just search Arnold Schwarzenegger stogie if you're really intrigued.
It will come up, even if you go Arnie stogie, it will come up. And there'll be different versions if you want. There's a Skyrim version, there's a RuneScape version, there's lots of versions.
Yeah, fun for all the family.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Or will we? We'll keep you on your toes.
I'm tired.
It's late.
It's late. It's like 1 a.m. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.